Now we are going to start with the next part of the story. Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? Leap out of the window, he said. If you want to ride, it was true then. He had stolen the horse. There was no question about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not as I chose. Well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not some same thing as stealing something else, such as money. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. If if I if you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. So now he's justifying everything what they did. He's saying that we are just taking the horse for enjoyment. We'll relish riding on it and then we'll give it back. Cannot be called a stealing. It wouldn't become stealing until we offered to sell the horse, which of course I knew we would never do. Let me put on some clothes, I said. All right, he said, but hurry. I leaped into my clothes. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. That year we lived at the edge of the town, at on Walnut Avenue. Edge of the town means in the interior of the town, in the exterior, like somewhere in the corner at the end of the town. Behind our house was a country, vineyards, orchards, irrigation ditches, and country roads. Vineyards are grapes garden, fruit gardens, and irrigation wet fields. Country means the rural area. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue, and the horse began to walk fast. The air was new, lovely to breathe. The feel of the horse running was wonderful. My cousin Murad, who was considered one of the craziest member of our family, began to sing. I mean, he began to roar because he was a descendant of Uncle Khosrow, who was a impatient and furious man. Every family has a crazy streak, you know. This is said. Every family has somebody crazy by nature. So streak means by nature he was crazy. In in it somewhere my cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of the crazy streak of our inner tribe. Before him was our uncle Khosrow, an enormous man with powerful head of black hair and the largest mustache in the San Joaquin Valley, a man so furious in temper by roaring. And what he used to say very often, very frequently, it is no harm, pay no attention to it. This was his pet sentence. He frequently repeated it. That was all, no matter what anybody happened to be talking about. Once it was his own son, Eric, running 8 blocks to the barber shop where his father was having his mustache trimmed, to tell him their house was on fire. The man, Khosrow, sat up in the chair and roared, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." The barber said, "But the boy says, your house is on fire." So Khosrow roared, "Enough, it is no harm, I say." My cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of the man. Although Murad's father was Zorab, and who was practical and nothing else. That's how it was in our tribe. A man could be the father of his son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. You know, you inherit the qualities of your father, physical qualities of the father, but not your spirit, but not your sentiments, but not the inner features like he was free will and adventurous and risk-taking fellow. The distribution of various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from beginning capricious and vagrant. Capricious is they are not stable, they are fickle, they are changeable, and vagrant like a wanderer, keep on roaming around and enjoying the life. We wrote, and my cousin Murad sang. For all, for all anybody knew, we were still in the old country where, at least according to some of our neighbor, we belonged. We let the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, my cousin Murad said, "Get down, I want to ride alone." "Will you let me ride alone?" He want to enjoy riding it alone because he been himself training himself for a lot many days now. "That is up to the horse," my cousin said. "Get down, the horse will let me ride," I said. "We shall see," I said. "Don't forget that I have a way with a horse." Now this is an interesting line which again, like no, previously we know Khosrow will use that his pet line. Now this is Murad's pet line. He said, "I have the way with animals, with dogs, with Robin, with the horse, with farmers also." He says that I can handle them, I know them well, I understand them very well. So this is a phrase very frequently used in the story. Now we will do the next half in the next video. So we'll read together in the next video.